All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating idea from a Bible study that might just flip how you think about your life. Seriously, it's a challenge to our whole obsession with productivity and points to something way, way deeper. So let me just ask you this, right off the bat. If I asked, what's your most valuable resource, I'm guessing 9 out of 10 of you would say time, right? We are all completely obsessed with it, saving it, managing it, trying to squeeze more out of it. It feels like the one thing we can't get back.
But what if that's the wrong question? What if that whole assumption is leading us down the wrong path? The material we're digging into today suggests that maybe, just maybe, our focus on managing every single minute is actually distracting us from what really counts.
And here it is, the core shift in thinking. The idea is to stop obsessing over time management and start focusing on energy management. See, time is just a container. It's the energy we fill it with that actually matters. The real secret is cultivating the right kind of energy for the time you've got.
So what is this right kind of energy? Well, according to this study, it's what you'd call eternal energy. And the whole idea hinges on this incredible verse from Ecclesiastes. It suggests that God has literally planted a piece of eternity inside every one of us, a connection to something that isn't bound by a clock. That is the ultimate power source we can tap into.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, so pay attention to this definition. Eternal doesn't just mean time going on forever and ever. The original meaning is actually about something that's hidden or unseen. And what that means is, eternal life isn't just some promise for way off in the future. It's a hidden reality we can access right now.
Okay, so that's a pretty mind-blowing concept, right? But it brings up a huge question. How do we actually do that? How do we connect with this hidden, eternal part of our lives when we're stuck in traffic or dealing with deadlines? Well, the source gives us a very clear strategy.
And here's the key. The source actually calls it enjoyment management. This is how you do it. Tapping into that eternal energy starts with a super simple conscious choice to actually enjoy the gifts God has put all around you. You know, truly savoring your lunch, being completely floored by a beautiful sunrise, feeling that deep satisfaction from a job well done. These aren't just nice little moments. According to this view, they are the literal doorways to that hidden, eternal reality.
I love this metaphor. It's kind of like that old Smokey Bear line, right? The source is saying we have a personal responsibility to manage the negativity, the forest fires, in our own lives. Nobody else can choose joy for you. No one can choose gratitude for you. That power, that's all yours.
And here's the thing. When you start managing your energy and your enjoyment day by day, it does way more than just make you feel a little better. Over time, it fundamentally changes your entire outlook, building up to a completely different strategy for your whole life.
The source points to a passage in Romans and basically lays out two paths, two mindsets. On one side, you have the mindset of the physical. It's focused only on what you can see and touch, the temporary stuff. And that path, it says, leads to death. But the other path, the mindset of the spirit, focuses on the unseen, the eternal, and that leads to life and peace.
And that choice of mindset leads to two totally different life plans. The first is called the 70-80-year plan, and it comes from a verse in Psalm 90 that talks about life being mostly trouble and sorrow. It's a pretty limited view, right? But here's the amazing part. Moses, who's said to have written that very psalm, lived to be 120 years old, with his strength totally intact. He's the model for the 120-year plan, a life built on vigor, purpose, and that eternal perspective.
Now, let's be really clear. The point isn't to get hung up on a literal number. It's all about the mindset. Are you planning for a life that just kind of winds down, or are you adopting a strategy for long-term vitality, purpose, and strength? It's all about the quality and the direction of your focus.
So, how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? The source points to this simple 3-step process from 2 Corinthians. First, you just acknowledge it. Our physical bodies are temporary. But second, you have to renew your mind with the truth that your inner self is being made new every single day. And finally, you have to focus. Make that conscious choice to look past the temporary stuff you can see and instead look to the eternal reality you can't.
So, this whole idea really boils down to this one powerful question for you to take with you. If we know that what we can see is temporary and what we can't see is eternal, where are you going to put your focus? Where are you going to invest your energy and find your enjoyment, starting right now today?